Today is Monday, February 24th. It's officially the end of the 2-week wait, and things didn't exactly go as we had planned and hoped. So let me back up a little bit. On Friday, the 21st, I was getting really nervous and anxious, and just the 2-week wait again is just horrible. Every single little symptom you think you have, you always go on the internet and type, oh my gosh, is this a sign of pregnancy? And it's so exhausting. And what's kind of annoying is I already went through this one time. Like, you'd think I'd learn to just try to forget about it, but oh man, it was like worse than last time for some reason. Like, I was watching so many YouTube videos about all the symptoms in your 2-week wait, if it's a positive and if it's a negative, or if it's a negative, just to see like which one I was having. Oh my gosh, it was so exhausting to think of every little thing I went through. I just had to Google every single little symptom, and every time I felt something, oh, maybe I'm pregnant, and so annoying. And I swore I wouldn't do it again this time, but obviously that didn't work. So Friday the 21st comes along, and I think in my head, well, technically 2 weeks ago we did the trigger shot. So I bought a pregnancy test, and I had planned on taking a pregnancy test Saturday, February 22nd, because usually by then it would show positive if I was pregnant. So let me back up and just talk about pregnancy tests for a little bit. Pregnancy tests are so annoying, and in my case, I've never taken a pregnancy test, like, never not knowing what the outcome would be. Usually people take a pregnancy test hoping that it's a no and that they're not pregnant. But in my case, I always take a pregnancy test hoping and praying that by some miracle it's a positive, and it never is. Like, literally in our last vlogs, I joked about taking a pregnancy test when I was already pregnant with Walter, because literally that was the only time I was ever taking a pregnancy test knowing that it was going to come out positive, because I was already like 20 weeks pregnant. Again, I detest pregnancy tests and I hate it, but I still wanted to take a pregnancy test so that I wouldn't be too caught off guard come today, if I got a phone call and everything. But let's back up even before that. So Friday, I make a lot of tangents. Friday comes along, and I'm getting ready. I bring the pregnancy test upstairs to our upstairs bathroom, and I have a little cup to pee in and all that fun stuff, and I'm getting ready. And at this point, I'm like, maybe I'm pregnant. I don't know for sure, but I mean, but I guess through the whole 2-week wait, I just never felt quite the same that I did when I was pregnant with Walter. Now, if you rewatch all the videos we did last time, I was so adamant that I wasn't pregnant when I was pregnant with Walter. And that's just because I had no idea what to expect. I'd never been pregnant before. I'd never done the 2-week wait before. It was my first time, so I had no idea what to expect. And so going in this time, I knew certain symptoms that, like, I don't know, like, I had never experienced before. So, like, on the morning of my 2-week wait last time with Walter, I, like, did have the slightest positive thought that I was pregnant, and I ended up being pregnant. But this time, there was, like, just a feeling I had, like, I don't think I'm pregnant. I really don't think it worked. And I was like, well, I'll find out tomorrow. I'm taking a pregnancy test. All will be well. Well, Friday night, I started spotting, and I was kind of confused because last time when I was pregnant with Walter, I did spot too, and I was like, oh, it must have been implantation bleeding, because what else could it have been? I was pregnant. Well, Friday night, I started spotting, like I said, and it was a little more than usual. And so it made me really nervous. And so I was like, oh man, am I really about to start my period? So I texted Peter and was just like, oh, just so you know, I started spotting. I think it's a little too late to be spotting for implantation bleeding, because if I was pregnant, I'd be pregnant, like, it would have already been farther along where I wouldn't have had implantation bleeding. And, Peter was really positive. He's like, no, like, it's okay. Like, that's totally what it is. It's implantation bleeding. All's going to be good. Well, then I went to the bathroom again and there was more. And so I think at that moment I knew, like, crap. It did not work. We are not pregnant. And so then I text Peter and I'm like, because he's at work and I already put Walter down for bed. And so I texted him and I think it was like, hey, can you please pick me up some ice cream? I'm like 97% sure I'm not pregnant. And so then, of course, he calls me right away and he's like, why would you think that, blah, blah, blah. And I told him and he was like, it's fine. Like, that's normal. And so then he comes home. I get my ice cream, so yay for me. And I think we ended up playing like Super Smash Brothers or something. We just played on the Nintendo Switch and had a fun night. And then as soon as I go to bed, like, my period full on started. And so, I mean, I guess the one good thing about it was I didn't have to take a damn pregnancy test because I knew I wasn't pregnant. So, and I would have been really, I think, more upset if I took a pregnancy test and it said negative. So, I mean, either way it sucks. But the way I think about it, I think I preferred this way to find out I wasn't pregnant than to A, take a pregnancy test, or B, get a blood test done today and have the doctor or medical staff call me and say I'm not pregnant over the phone and be completely blindsided. So even though it sucks, I mean, I preferred it this way. But I think it's so annoying and so cruel to spend all this money trying to get pregnant and not only having it not work, having it completely fail. It's like, congrats, now you have a period for a week and you're not pregnant. And so it was just like the biggest slap in the face. And this all happened a couple of days ago. So you might be watching this video being like, oh, why aren't you more sad? Because I've cried in my other vlogs. And let's just say that there was a reason I waited until today to actually film a video, because I've already been cried out. I've already done the grieving. I mean, I'm still grieving, but if I would have filmed a video like the day of, I probably just would have needed subtitles at the bottom so you could understand what I'm saying, because I was crying. So don't be fooled if you're watching this video thinking that, oh, she's really not sad. Like, I went through that. I mean, obviously, I'm heartbroken that we spent all this money and time and hoping and really wanting to be pregnant, and to just have it gone to waste, essentially. And so I called my doctor this morning and was like, hey, I'm not gonna go in and get a blood test because I started my period. I'm obviously not pregnant. And I don't really want to spend any more money having a blood test to confirm that I'm not pregnant. So I have a phone interview with her later this week, and they wanted me to come in like tomorrow to start a cycle all over again. And we can't. Like, I don't know where we would get another $5,000 to start again, hoping that it works. Like, we kind of jumped into it again, and I just feel like we were really spoiled the first time. Like, it took us a while to get pregnant and to eventually see a doctor that helped and everything. But we were so lucky for it to work the first time. And I think this was just like the first time of us feeling defeated. We're like, we did everything on our end. We did exactly the same thing we did the first time with Walter. Why? And so I think that's where it was more hurtful, is we were just more confused than anything and just heartbroken. And so I'm not gonna cry. I've already done too much of that. But yeah, so we're just gonna work on ourselves and see what the next step is. I mean, we know we're gonna need medical intervention, so since we can't really afford that right now, we're just going to go day by day and save up more money, and eventually when we get there, we'll try again and have more of these videos. But I'm gonna guess it won't be for another year, which kind of scares me because, like I mentioned earlier, I don't have that much time left. I mean, I'm only 27, which is not old if you're wanting to have a baby, but my levels are not good. And even though I'm 27, I don't have a very high egg reserve. So let's just put it this way. The last time I met with my doctor, like one-on-one, she said it was good that we were trying again because I could only get pregnant maybe 1 or 2 more times in my life. Which, doctors don't know everything, but still, I'm not going to take that lightly. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. And you might also be watching this thinking, like, why would you post these videos? And part of me really didn't want to, because it's like, it's embarrassing, it's sad. I don't really consider myself like, I don't consider myself a person that wants attention at all. And you can ask anyone in my family that. I don't like having attention on me at all. Anywhere, in any situation, I do not like attention. And so I think this is almost challenging myself to bring more awareness to infertility. Because still to this day, you hear dumb questions that I think are dumb, but the person asking them might not think it's dumb because they don't know why it's hurtful to ask certain questions. And so I can't get mad or upset with someone if they don't know why it hurts when they ask a certain question. They don't know why I get sad if I don't come to a baby blessing or if I don't come to a baby shower. They don't understand why I would feel sad if I have Walter. And I am so grateful for Walter. But it also makes me sad to think like if we'll never be able to give him a sibling. I've always imagined having more than one kid. And so when people ask, well, you should be happy, at least you have one. Or, at least you have Walter. Like, yeah, I do. I know, I'm aware. It still doesn't make it easier, and it doesn't help. I think people are allowed to grieve. If something hurts them, I think they're entitled to be heard. So that's my reasoning for putting these out. I hope if you're watching and you know someone else struggling from infertility, to go out and just be a friend. Just listen. Don't try to offer any advice. Just listen and be there and be comforting, because it is so hard. It is a struggle. And if you're someone watching this who struggles with infertility, I feel ya. I'm right there with you. But there's groups out there, like on Facebook. You can type in infertility groups. There's some everywhere. I'm part of the one, I'm part of two of them on Facebook. There's like an infertility women in Utah, and then I'm also like an infertility and after. So like if you get pregnant and you have a baby but you're still struggling, like two different groups. So it's good to know you're not alone. And just know that there's others out there. So keep fighting, and thanks for watching. And also, if you're a friend or family watching this, I'm not asking for people to send me messages saying, oh, I'm so sorry, but again, not looking for that. I just wanted to bring awareness to it. We're doing good. Well, it's only been a few days, but we're gonna keep trying to progress and do what we can do. And that's really all we can do. And I'm glad for Peter. I'm glad to have Peter and Walter. They're awesome. And so even if it is just us three, it's gonna be great. So thanks, guys.